Try avoiding to use manual replication. As soon as your automation is available, use that. This is a bad habit of having a lot of things stacked up here to progress in game. When you just start the game, press M and look where you are compared with the North and South Pole. You want to build your factories, like the main parts of your factory, somewhere around the middle where the equator is. So if you look at the map, in the middle, you can see everything is nice and squared. When you go to the North or South Pole, all the lines kind of converge in the middle, and it's more difficult for you to build nice looking and efficient factories. When you're building belts, you can always press R to change the orientation. Typically you have to press it twice. 1, 2, and now you can build diagonal belts which doesn't lock to the grid, which can save you some space, and you can make a bit more efficient builds. When you're building splitters, you can press tab and create different shapes of the splitter. When you're placing foundations, you can use plus or minus key to change the size of the grid. In early game, when placing foundations, use 1 square size tiles to save on foundations, to be a little bit more stingy with your resources. The foundations that you have placed already are not going to cost any extra resources if you place the foundations on the same spot. Second time, if you want to change the color or for any other reason. If you ever run out of soil to build more foundations over water, you can always use buildings to gather more soil. When deleting stuff, you can press F2 and change the size of the brush with minus and plus keys. Just don't forget to change it back to a normal size. Otherwise, you can accidentally make a mistake and delete stuff you don't want to delete. Happened with me before. When deleting stuff, if you have a large factory or something and you want to delete only a specific type of buildings, you can take a large brush and you can select what exactly you want to delete. Let's say you want to delete only belts, and you go over a large area of a factory and you will delete only belts. When you have long belts to delete, instead of deleting one by one, you can hold shift and delete the whole length of the belt. Use graphite as a fuel for your mecha. It's a very efficient fuel source for a long period of time, starting from the early game up to early mid game even. It's easy to build. Just plop down a miner, couple of smelters, storage box, and you have an endless supply of very cheap and efficient fuel for your machine. Hold shift, click on a building, and you can drag it out as long as you want. Well, actually it's limited to 15 buildings, but anyway, it's plenty. Press this key to copy it, and then press this key to paste it. Hold shift, click on a building, and we're gonna drag it out. So now my drones are so slow. It's a new game, so my drones are still slow. But it's gonna build out everything. It's gonna build the machine, the sorters, and it's gonna set the recipe, so you save a lot of clicks. Build your factories with ratios to be more efficient. Go check out my previous video. I talked all about that. Very easy and simple guide. On splitters, you can prioritize inputs and outputs. Which one is the main one to come in first, and which one is the main one to come out first. You can actually filter out which material you want to come out of it. So if you have two different inputs, you have iron and copper coming in, you can set that this line is going to be only copper going out. So in this case, you wouldn't have to build a bridge over another belt. you can just use a splitter to do exactly the same thing. You can toggle storage capacity in any of your storages. Let's say there is item that you don't need it that much. You can set the capacity only of 2 squares. So that's only as much production you're gonna get. Or if there is an item that you need a lot of it, you can set it full on 30 capacity. For this one, I don't need it that much. I'm just gonna keep it here. And the last one and most important one, have fun. Play the game your way. If any of the tips you heard, you don't like them, you don't have to use them. Just play your game your way and have fun. Bye bye.